Good morning, London. Come on, you can do better than that. Good morning. It's awesome to be here. Are you ready to rock? Yeah.
A foggy day in London town. I had me low, had me down. I viewed the morning with such alarm. British music.
So welcome. We're really excited to be here. I'm Brad Justice, also known as Chief Justice. I am the Vice President of Marketing and Brand Experience here at Roblox. And we are really thrilled to be in London. This is our first ever international Roblox event. So welcome, or as I said in the previous video. Thank you for inviting us and for giving us such a warm welcome and such a great turnout. So we're really thrilled to be here today. We've got a lot packed into the next 2 hours or so. So first up is a little bit of the state of Robloxia, as it were. You know him as Builderman. We know him as David Baszucki. He's the co-founder and CEO of Roblox. Dave.
Welcome everyone to BloxCon 2013 London. Welcome you guys. So this is a gathering of about 1,000 people, and just about everyone here shares our dream and our passion to build anything. And we're going to tell you a little about how we started the company, what our values are, what our vision is. But before we start, just going to give you a little background on the state of Roblox. And there we go. Wow. So we have 1,000 people here. For every one of us, there are over 3,300 other people who play Roblox. And around the world today, in any given month, there's about 3.3 million of us. It didn't always, have this much action when we got to start about 3 or 4 years ago. We have just grown ever since. And we'll see if my clicker runs out of battery. If it does, we'll get them to click in the back. We today, though, have had kind of continuous growth till here is a graph of our usage today. What is also interesting about the 3.3 million of you is, and just see if this is going to work. So, Andrew, if you're in the back, I'm going to start letting you advance for me. Can you guys hear me? And I'm just going to go like this for forward for you guys. So if you guys are in the back, one more, and one more. Good. So I'm going to put this clicker down and we'll go with the back room. We spend over 50 million hours every month playing Roblox. Now when you think about that, that's about 50 million man weeks, and it kind of goes to the core of our company, which is we're not really a traditional game company. We are a tool company where the tools we build allow our users to create games. And when you think about 50 million hours, of which a good percentage of that is creation time, we have more artists and more developers and more game designers than any other gaming company around the world. It just so happens that the artists and the developers and the people making Roblox games are the people that are here right now with us. Next slide. Here's an interesting stat. People spend an enormous amount of time building with physical bricks in the world right now, creating stuff. But if you go to Roblox, what's interesting is we're now spending 1/9 of that same amount of time creating stuff and playing with stuff inside Roblox. And when we started the company, the vision we had is, we didn't want to be a traditional video game company. We really wanted to be a construction toy on the computer. And we're starting to see that same behavior. We really want the creative aspects, the aspects of our users building interesting stuff and playing with it and taking it apart. That's really what we want to try and get on the computer. And that's kind of what you're seeing a sign of today. The BloxCon that you're here at today is really the vision of the last two we've had, which have been in Silicon Valley, where we had people coming from Hong Kong and Sweden, the UK and other parts of the world, and we kind of said, wow, could we get 1,000 people to show up at a BloxCon in London? Brad, said, I think we can. We sold this thing out pretty quickly, and I think it's kind of a sign of the future where we're probably going to have many, many more BloxCons next year. So let's go back to the start and really what I was talking about with construction toys and the intersection between construction toys, gaming, making movies, all of that, and how we got our start. This was my very first construction toy that I got when I think I was probably 4 or 5. And for those of you that grew up in Canada, you may recognize this. This was made by the Tupperware company, if you can believe it. It was a little plastic construction toy. I loved it, and as I got older, I started getting more and more different kinds of building kits. You name it, I had it, and I was creating all kinds of stuff with it. And as I got older, and even further, I started playing not with just construction toys, but motors and kites and model rockets and go-karts and all of that kind of stuff. And it's kind of giving you a little glimpse of kind of the progression of Roblox and where we ultimately think the company will go as well, which is we really want to be a universal construction, building kind of place for people who are creative. So who here recognizes this awesome hot computer? All right, this is an Apple II. For those of you that don't know it, this is when I was in high school. This was like the hottest box, okay? The Apple II has 64K, that's 64,000 bytes of memory. You can literally count them on a few pieces of paper. The computer I have on my desk now at Roblox has 16 gigabytes of memory. So my computer today has about 250,000 times as much power as this thing does. The games you can make on Roblox in a day would be better than any game anyone could have ever made on this Apple II when it was developed. And here's a picture of a game I made. You know, couple pixels, 2D, simple lunar lander, but it was the same passion I had that many of you had for creating. It's just we didn't have the same tools. I was very interested in kind of worlds that were simulated, very interested in creating my own stuff. And that same passion is with you guys here today at Roblox. So I took that passion and started our first company. It was called Knowledge Revolution. And we had this dream of making a physics simulator on the computer, which I'll talk to you about a little in a second. And I started it with Eric Castle. Now, for those of you who have followed our blog or read about it, you know that 3 or 4 months ago, Eric Castle, co-founder of Roblox, he passed away from cancer. And we, instead of hiding it, we kind of told you guys about it and posted about it. And I'd like to thank those of you who kind of posted on our blog and what have you, because for his family, seeing the kind of enormous outpouring of support on Roblox for Eric was really, really valuable for them. We had thousands of Roblox users, talking about what Eric did and, talking about the things he had developed. And we just want to say thanks. We appreciate it. So Eric and I founded, next slide, this physics simulation company. We won a bunch of awards. And what's interesting is that this physics software that we developed for use with textbooks, that was kind of this open-ended physics laboratory, what we started seeing happening was kids and grown-ups and people who wanted to build things were using our software a lot more to build crazy gadgets and people getting flung around, and this is a crazy hangman mousetrap contraption. They wanted to build things with our physics software, just like you do with a lot of kind of modern 2D crayon physics kind of building labs. So this interactive physics product became very successful. We sold the company, and then Eric and I hooked up again, and we said, you know what can we do with that physics software? What does that lead us to think about? And it's kind of where the idea for Roblox came from. Wanted an open-ended building world. We wanted it physically simulated. We wanted people to trade and share things. And you're seeing here is a very early mock-up, before it even worked, of what Roblox was going to be like. We didn't even call it Roblox at that time. It was called Dynablocks. But you can see a bunch of aspects. So if we go next slide, we definitely wanted games. Slow down a little. Wanted models that you could browse and share, and I'll talk a little about that today. We wanted ability to do contests, which we've really just scratched the surface on in Roblox. And of course, we wanted a community of users sharing stuff and trading stuff. And so what's really kind of cool is this vision that we had at the start is, it's kind of where it's played out, and it's kind of where we're going. One of the neat things about our vision that you're going to see some cool demos of today is, can we get to the point where when someone wants to make a cool game on Roblox and they need a good bulldozer, can they go on Roblox and can they find 100 super high quality bulldozers? Can they, bulldozers that work like they should, that when you get in, they have a good heads up display, that you can take apart and see how they work. So that's kind of an early vision that we're still marching towards today. And another part of our early vision, which I'll show you in just a second, is kind of going beyond that. Early versions of Roblox I'm showing you here. The very first version of Roblox, these characters, if you notice them, they're not even animated. We were so into getting user feedback that If any of you were there at the very start, the characters literally moved around like statues. It was multiplayer. And if you look at our usage graph, next slide, the very early users of Roblox got to play in a world where at any one time there might be 20 simultaneous players. So we knew every Roblox player. We would hang out in our office, oh my gosh, there's 8 people playing. Oh my gosh, there's 20 people playing. This is exciting, And we would talk to them all day long. We got to meet them. Today, this afternoon, in about 8 hours, there'll be well over 130,000 people playing Roblox at the same time, simultaneously around the world. So you can see where we've come from there. Later version of Roblox, let's back up 1 second, right there. And then I'm going to give you a quick snapshot of what it's like to work at Roblox. So let's launch that video now. So this is our office in downtown San Mateo, the heart of Silicon Valley. If you're ever out there, visit us. It's a company meeting. Engineers working. There's Tyler working on Roblox Studio. There's Becky. That's John and me. Tell them on in my office. So we have tours every Friday. If you ever make a family trip to San Francisco, let us know. There's Deepak and Adam. That's a snapshot of our client group that works on our physics engine. There's Isaiah and Phil. They're both here today. Vlad is here today, as well as Matt, who works on kind of our back-end servers. This is a tour of Roblox. And that's Dylan, Keith, and Brad hanging out planning some stuff. Company lunch, showing some of our user creations there. Simon in the back. If you have any questions about graphics, grab him today. He's here today. Working on advertising stuff, web room. This, once again, upstairs is our web development room. Quick snapshots of things coming inside Roblox, tour group, fan mail, and some letters when we used to actually accept payment by cash. Web developers working on the Roblox website. You can see some early designs of some web pages there. There's Isaiah and our web team. There's John actually asking a tour group, getting feedback on the product, what you'd like us to work on. There's the food at one of our company lunches. BloxCon posters, good job Andrew, awesome. Asking Deepak questions. Isaiah showing how fast he can work, awesome. That might have been sped up a little. Our boardroom, it's where we hang out, our lobby, working on graphics. And user feedback, people just like you, builders, developers, gamers, hanging out, giving us feedback on what to put in the product. Sorting, there's Toby sorting out a web scrum. Tyler working on Roblox Studio. Bright Eyes Christina, she's here, say hi to her. Tour group. We're 5 minutes from SFO, and this is going out our front door, right downtown in our office. So please come and visit us. That's what it's like to work at Roblox. Awesome. Okay, next slide. So quick thought on our vision, and then we're going to go through some quick stuff. Next slide. Vision slide from 4 or 5 years ago still holds true today. We want lots of players. When you guys ask me about, can we get more players in game? Obviously, we want thousands of players. Want complex mechanical devices. We're working on that. Highlight on the top right, we want a library of millions of cool models that you can buy. Next slide. Quick slide, next slide here, I'm gonna go quickly. One of the things we're gonna work on is your ability to push and save data in game. So ultimately, building games can create interesting stuff. You're gonna hear a quick preview of that today. One more slide. Finally, I just want to close. Here's our vision. We think Roblox really has the promise to be essentially a digital toy, and a toy that involves construction, building, gaming, kind of converging, all of those. Our mission is to listen to you guys today. When you're at BloxCon, the one thing I would ask you is every one of you think of one thing you'd like us to do better. Walk up to someone with a shirt on like me and come and tell us what to work on. Program today, lots of good stuff. There's a lab in the back where you can all play. There is a hackathon going on right now. We have a booth area where a lot of us will be standing around asking you questions and trying to get your answers. And in general, this conference is as important to us as it is to you. We're here to listen to you. So thank you all for coming and have a great day. Thank you.